Good evening, everyone. It's June 24th. This is Alex here, Oracle of Adelphi. We're pulling some cards leading up into the Capricorn full moon. This full moon will be on June 29th and also coinciding with a Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So there's, a significant point of reflection and culmination that is taking place at the same time, which will look very different for everybody. Of course, you can find out by booking a reading how that would affect you personally. For now, I wanted to pull some cards for the collective. And it's interesting because these cards are coming up in a lot of personal readings. They're coming up in my own readings. So this feels to me like some significant messaging that is affecting everyone. So, sometimes I feel like it's like we all have our own version of what's going on. And that remains true. But this is, just some pretty significant themes around death and rebirth, which, I mean, that's life, right? But um, a little more pronounced. In the present, I do have the death card. That's right where we're starting. And I think one of the things that is most important to remember about the death card and any sort of change is that the beginning and the end are together. One may be dormant, one may be inactive, one may be, um, you may be feeling like seeds of one and more of the other. But with death here, um, there's some really significant letting go. And based on the other cards in the reading, this is both physical, this is emotional, this could have to do with some very personal loss. In the north, we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this is our past that's informing our present, right? And so the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is an interesting card because typically this is, about our legacy, our family legacy. In the reversal, it's it's ripping away the confines of what is physically present there. And what I mean, it's like if you take away house, inheritance, if you take away sort of the financial comings and goings, if you take away the sort of like mundane aspect of family life and legacy, um, is there anything left? Is there anything underneath it? The Ten of Pentacles in reversal really speaks to the magic that happens around continuation, okay? How things continue. In the reversal here, and based on what I have in the future, which is the Ten of Swords, which I know nobody loves, but I'll get to that part. But I mean, we're in this period of completion with the tens. To me, this story of the Ten of Pentacles in reversal to the Ten of Swords is really about what stories have we created about what was important to us, what has defined us, what has shaped us with regards to home, family, finance. What have we had to lose to get where we're going? Um, what have we had to let go of? I know for myself personally, this is we had a significant loss in our family, which has been really heartbreaking. And I think periods of loss and grief can also really show you where the love is. It can show you where the care is. Um, it can show you, it can teach you a lot about what's important to you, you know. I think anything that brings us in touch with our own mortality can also bring us in touch with our values and our joy and our love and our hearts. Um, so there's these themes that we are coping with around loss and ancestry, whether that's physical, you know, ancestral trauma, you know, or just like literal family members, that we're kind of dealing with this upside down energy of things are getting flipped on their head a bit. So our stories and what we've created around that reality is being flipped. So we are being asked to question ourselves very deeply. I would say, actually, I would take that back. We're not even being asked a question. We're asked being like, can we just let go of this and be open to some other possibilities? Because with the Ten of Swords in the future there, um, we are probably going to be wrong about it if we don't stay open. And I think that that is really important to bear in mind. Um, so we have this significant line north to south. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Death card, transformation, seeds of growth within the seeds of destruction. And in the South, the future, the Ten of Swords, which is, really, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, but also that will probably have a moment of like, oh, fuck, I got that wrong, you know? Um, and that's okay. That's okay. Again, there's nothing here that is, you know, saying um, that this loss is going to get any worse. Like whatever loss we're coping with is the loss we're coping with, but maybe we see it differently. We relate to it differently. Maybe we see our contribution to that loss. Maybe we see our contribution to what hasn't worked. Okay. Um, Crossing the situation, we also have the Eight of Cups. So there is a sense of seeking. There is a sense of, I would say, dissatisfaction and um, listen, loss of any kind, change, transformation of any kind. If it's meaningful, it's probably pretty uncomfortable. So there again, it's like pushing you towards this is what's not working. This is what doesn't feel right. And also like, what is that secret sauce that is missing? Where is the juice? Eight of Cups is like, um, wow, I could be happy here, but it's just not good enough, you know? And, there's got to be more to life than this. And I think that those are the questions that we're sitting with um, in this period of transformation. It's like, well, now what? You know, things have shifted. I'm in an uncomfortable moment, or life is challenging, whatever. Now what? So we don't quite see the new beginning yet. All right, which is notable. Okay. In the past, we have the Five of Cups in reverse, which is kind of spilling into that Eight of Cups. And so again, our relationship with loss, I'm going to say our attachment to loss, our attachment to grief, our attachment to what has left. Um, five of cups is like, get over it and be grateful. Be grateful for what you have. Remember what you have. I think people get so caught up in their attachments. I mean, plain and simple, you know? Remember, like, just remember that you're a divine, you're an expression of the divine here. And so it's not about the car you drive or the house you have or the people in your life or how many people you know or whatever. That there are that sure, that's part of enjoying life, but the the meaning that we're being pushed to here is far deeper. And, and I think that our souls, our hearts are being pushed into these places of like, please remember what is true. Please remember who you are and don't forget to express that, even in the darkest of spaces. We're moving into the energy of the high priestess. And what I love about the high priestess is that um, she is like pushing us into our trust in a powerful way. She's asking us to trust that there are larger forces at work here. And with the high priestess, I mean, it's a lot of internal work, but in a way, it's kind of like we are just vessels for the change. And I think this can be an invitation for us to kind of connect with the divine in whatever way it feels at home or feels comfortable. Um, and just sort of drawing that energy in, allowing for life to unfold. I think that there's some clarity that comes in here around what we need to let go of and sort of the stories that we're attached to, the situations we're attached to, the unsolvable problems that we're attached to. And it's like, what if we just let that go? What if we just let that go? What if we just surrendered to what life has to show us? Um, Now, I pulled a card to kind of bridge death into the High Priestess, and I pulled the Two of Pentacles, which I seem to pull a lot in these readings, but I love that because that does speak to the more mundane nature of change and sort of the like shifting out of old energy and the shifting in of new. And I think Two of Pentacles really speaks to the dance between heaven and earth in terms of like making something new, making something real. Um, and I feel that like the earthiness of death and the heavenly nature of the high priestess kind of dancing together and mingling and making something new. Um, Now, further in the future, I did mention we have this Ten of Swords, which is nobody's friend, but it's also it's also our relationship with our own ego, our own foolishness about things. I was just talking with a friend, we can all get our heads up our asses at some point about something. So this is removing your head from your ass. Okay, and also I pulled some clarifiers here. We've got Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, pulling your head out of your ass and recognizing that your intuition still works, your deeper sense of faith and trust still works. Page of Cups is really about like the consciousness, the little light of consciousness in, the deepest places within the collective consciousness, and the ocean of collective consciousness. So it's like, where are the little lights coming on? Where are those little seeds of inspiration? And to follow those seeds of inspiration. Knight of Cups also like to me is like being emotionally met. There's this kind of like heart to heart is the image that I'm seeing with the Knight of Cups, where we're able to express and understand ourselves emotionally. Knight of Cups can sometimes be a little bit of people-pleasing energy, but here I'm really just feeling like we don't need to do that. Like shit got real. This is like, hey, shit got real. Let's be good to each other. Let's be kind. Let's recognize maybe something got out of hand. Let's pull it back. Let's love each other. Okay. Or at least be kind to each other. And I think, and let's maybe like open our minds to what could be next, what other possibility is there. Okay. Our advice is we've got the Magician and we've got the Four of Swords. So, kind of very opposing energies. I like that we have the High Priestess and the Magician So there's a little bit of allowing for things to unfold and the rest that comes with the Four of Swords. Like, go easy on yourself. I think that's the one thing I've said to clients more than anything this week is remember compassion for yourself. Go easy on yourself. I think I'm seeing people like really beating themselves up over things. And it's understandable because we are circling lifelong issues with one another and really trying to transcend, heal. Here's a moment where we can kind of see where we're getting in our own way, perhaps, or what that missing piece is. Um, no promises, but I think that some interesting things can reveal themselves. The magician is, a reminder that like whatever it is that you are seeking to create as above below, that this is a beautiful dance that's happening, regardless of the discomfort of it. Um, it's like to me, it's just like, remember that there's a landing place for these things and you can direct them. Remember that you do have power, you know. Um, I don't know that how that shows up for everybody. I'm gonna just pull one more card because I'm curious. Um, 10 of Wands in reversal. That's interesting to have three tens here. So again, a lot of completion. 10 of Wands in reversal. Um, Again, another thing that I've been saying to clients a lot. Why are you doing all of the things that you're doing? That's a good time to ask yourself that, kind of do some assessments around where your time and energy resources are going and how much of that is really necessary. Um, I think even speaking to the sort of like current economic freak out everybody's having, it's like, what are you investing in? What are your wants versus your needs? What is really necessary for you? And readings are totally necessary, by the way. Don't forget. But besides that, food, water, housing, readings. Um, this is a period of completion and tens are this sort of like it's sort of like the point of like we've completed and we have not yet begun whatever is next. So it's like, or sometimes it's even like taking things too far, taking things past the nine. We've taken things too far. So it's like whatever is completed has been completed. Maybe we just haven't seen it yet. Okay. Time to tie up those loose ends. Um, you know, Connect with people you love. Live, remember your heart here. Your heart has gone through some things. Let it feel some joy. Find some connection where you can. Find some joy where you can, inspiration where you can. And just remember that I'm here. I love you all, and I hope you all have a great, fantastic full moon. You let me know how it goes, and I will see you next time.